So yesterday, I uploaded my video on how to make a suggestion. And I'm sorry to say this, but there were people in the comment section making invalid suggestions, and if they watched the video, that wouldn't happen. I'm sorry I have to bring this up in this video, but I really need to say this. It's just very disappointing to me because if you think I'm gonna take time out of my day to make a video for you, then you should be able to take the time out of your day to watch the 11-minute video on how to make a proper suggestion. So, please, before you make a suggestion, watch that video. I'm so tempted to just delete the comments that have invalid suggestions in them, but I still reply saying I already reviewed that, please watch the video, but it just is so time consuming and I don't have much time nowadays. So, sorry Aarondoes World of Cars, I had to bring this up in your video. Hope you can understand, but it's just, I really needed to say that. So, without any more talk about suggestions, let's get on with today's suggestion video of the variations of Miss Sally. This was suggested to me by Aarondoes World of Cars. I really appreciate the suggestion. I hope you enjoy your video. I'll be reviewing 6 variations of Sally in this video. As you can see in the background though, there is a 7th variation of Sally that was just recently released. It's the road trip version of Sally, and I will be reviewing this variation in a future video, but for now, I'll just show what it looks like. Trailer hitch in the back, luggage rack on top, but other than that, it's the same old Sally. We'll take a look at her in more detail though in my video regarding the road trip singles. So let's get on with just regular Sally here. She was originally released in 2006 and has been released many times since then in multi-packs, 2-packs, singles, etc. Now obviously she is a Porsche Carrera. She has the Porsche logo there on her hood and she kind of has a glitter paint job. Very nice. Now this version of Sally does have raised eyes, meaning that there is depth between the eye space and the eyelid, but some variations nowadays are flat eye variations, which it's kind of hard to tell because some releases have flat eyes, some have raised. I believe the 2016 release of her has raised eyes. Yeah, as you can see here, this is the 2015 release. It's hard to see in the package, but yes, there is depth to the eyes there. However, some releases like the 2015 release of her with Radiator Springs Lightning McQueen in the 2-pack, I believe that one had flat eyes, so it really is a hit or miss. On the side here, she's got nice silver rims, a basically blank side job right here. Very nice though, nice and simple. On the back here, we can see Carrera, her model of Porsche, and her license plate reads 301 PCE, and the text above it reads California. Now, if you guys don't remember, Sally actually used to work in California, in Los Angeles, I believe, and then she moved out to Radiator Springs. And of course, you guys probably know this, but she is Lightning McQueen's love interest. Unfortunately though, in Cars 2, she really didn't have much of a role at all, so I hope in Cars 3 she'll have a bigger role. There is her trunk, by the way, very flat. When we take a look at Sally with tattoo, in a moment here, you'll see that the trunk actually is popped open, but we're going to take a look at Snow Day Sally, which is the holiday version first. I really do like this version of Sally. As you can see, she does have a different expression. Unfortunately, she does have a moth plate. Very sad. I hate moth plates. As you can see, there's this plastic piece right here, and it's a separate piece from the main metal body. And one of the reasons why I hate moth plates is the fact that Mattel can never really get the color on the plastic piece matched to the color on the metal body. And it's probably because paint reacts differently with metal than it does on plastic, so it's probably pretty hard to match the color, but then just make them a unibody, which is what they're doing now, so I'm happy about that. The headlights are a little bit different, matching the snow holiday theme. The Porsche logo is still there. It's bumped back a little bit, as you can see. As I said, love the expression. One thing I love, absolutely love about this variation is the snowflake tire rims there. Very, very nice. She has some pinstriping matching the holiday season with some snowflakes, and actually snowflakes in the Cars universe seem to be like a design of several wrenches together. Very, very nice, and of course accommodating, not really accommodating, but fitting for the Cars universe. On the back here, same stuff. For some reason, Carrera is now in silver and it's much smaller versus the big black leathers on the original. Same license plate, although it does look smaller. Don't really know why those changes were made. Really have no clue about that. Probably shouldn't have been changed at all, but Mattel logic in our example of that. Her taillights are also a little bit different. So a nice variation of Sally. One more thing to mention actually is that this light right here is actually painted red, whereas on the original it is just blue, matching the rest of the body. Now just to clarify, Sally never appeared in either of the Cars movies. She's actually a part of the Mater Saves Christmas book. So now let's move on to Sally with cone. This is actually one of my favorite variations of Sally. Now if you guys don't remember, she appeared in the first Cars movie when she was just finishing talking with Lightning McQueen, who of course was towing Bessie, and she was reversing and backed into a stack of cones, one of which fell on top of her roof. She's looking a little embarrassed, and I really do like this expression. It accurately represents the movie, which I always like. Now, unfortunately, this variation of Sally has a mouth plate similar to Snow Day Sally. As you can see, there's a mouth plate there. Although it doesn't look too bad on this one. Porsche logo is still there. It looks a tad bit different, a little bit bigger and a little bit closer to her eyes there rather than the edge of the front bumper. Obviously, she does have this cone on her roof, and it's actually made of a soft, kind of flexible rubber, whereas the cone on Lightning McQueen for the final lap and 2013 release of Lightning McQueen with cone is more of a hard plastic. You can't really move it at all. But with the 2008 and 2009 version of Sally with cone, you can kind of move it around a little bit, which is a nice feature. Now, I do have Sally with cone in the package from her original release in 2008. She was re-released in 2009 as well. And I also have a pretty cool air of Sally with cone. As you can see, this one doesn't have any eyes. It's just painted over with the metallic blue color. So very, very cool. I'll go into a little bit more detail about this air in my upcoming airs video. Should be out relatively soon. Now back to Sally with cone. The sides are basically the same. On the back here, same Carrera logo and license plate. Very, very nice. And as you can see, her trunk is actually popped open, and McQueen in the movie was able to see her pinstriping tattoo. You can kind of see it at this angle. Nice little detail inside there. Up next is Sally with tattoo. Now this variation is probably my least favorite because it's so similar to the regular one and Sally with cone, but nonetheless, let's go on with the review of her. She was only released in the 2014 Radiator Springs series, so she is pretty hard to get nowadays. Probably goes for around $20 on eBay. So not terribly bad, but one of the rarest 2014 singles. She does have a different expression from the original Sally. The Porsche logo is much bigger for some reason. Don't really know why that is. Sides are essentially the same. And on the back here, the trunk is popped up, showing off the tattoo, just like with Sally with cone. So this really is a combination of Sally with cone and the regular Sally, just minus the cone. So not that special, but it is a nice one to have in the collection because Sally with Tattoo just appeared right before Sally crashed into the cones. So it really was like this. Sally's going along, crashes into the cones, and then you have Sally with cones. So they got 2 variations out of her within like 2 seconds. So that's Mattel playing their smart games out there. Now just checking out the license plate here and the Carrera logos. They're basically the same size. Very, very nice. Now let's check out the color changer variation of Sally. Not really a variation, just kind of more like a plastic version of Sally. Now she changes from purple to her original blue, and I'll be showing a little bit of the color changing aspect up here. And she was originally released in 2010. She was very, 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 very expensive from 2010 to 2015. But when she was re-released in the 2015 Color Changers line, then her value from 2010 kind of dropped a little bit. And now this is probably my favorite color changer release because I just love this purple color on her. And even though it's plastic, it's still a nice one to have in the collection. It doesn't even look like it's plastic if you see it from a distance. I mean, obviously up close, you'll see that it's plastic and it's attached using screws. But, you know, really, it's a nice variation to have. And you can kind of see the blue color on the rims here. And I'm not really sure how this one works. It's probably hot is the purple shade and then cold is blue. On the back here, she does have the Carrera logo and her 301 PCE license plate. And last, but definitely not least, is Sally as Princess Leia. In fact, this is my favorite version of Sally, and I saved her for last for that exact reason. So yes, this is a part of the combination of Star Wars and Cars, I guess you could say, where Star Wars characters are represented in some of the Cars characters. I think it's a great idea, and it was originally started in 2013 to celebrate Disney buying Lucasfilms. So without any further ado, let's get on with the review of her. She looks fantastic in this white Spectral Flame paint, and she still has the Porsche logo on her hood. And actually, the logo is a lot better quality than the logos on the other releases of Sally. Now, just a clarification here. This version of Sally, the Sally as Princess Leia, is not made by Mattel. It was made by the Disney Parks Company in 2013 as a part of the first wave of Star Wars cars. She has become very, very rare nowadays, and yes, she is the rarest version of Sally that exists. She still has the blue eyelids right there, but the rest of her is white. Very, very nice. And now since this is made by a different company, she actually is a different model. As you can see, Sally's a lot thinner. Definitely, you can clearly see it. If I put Sally as Princess Leia on top of the regular Sally, you can see how much thinner she is. Also, here's the back angle. And now I'm very surprised by this because usually the Disney Parks Company uses exactly, well, I should say, not exactly, but for the most part, they use the same models as the Mattel ones in size. I mean, for example, here we have Sarge. I mean, yeah, they're the same size. They look exactly the same with all the details and whatnot. So I'm very surprised that they changed it up for Sally. Maybe it was some reason that they wanted to change it up. I really have no idea. Now, on the sides here, she has like tire buns, I guess you could say, representing Princess Leia's hair in the Star Wars movies and cartoons. Very, very nice. I like the black tires with the silver rims. Here is the base for anyone who's interested. Nothing special. On the back here, she's got a nice Star Wars design below the trunk there. And she has a license plate reading 1138. Now, for those Star Wars fans out there, I'm sure you guys know what that means. Since I've only seen Star Wars The Force Awakens, I do not know what that license plate represents. But if you do, please let me know in the comments section below. So that is all for the variations of Sally. Just as a little wrap up here, she is the same model as Megan Carrera, released in the 2014 All in All Blowout series as a chase. This is just a maroon version of her. A little bit different Porsche logo, different expression, and unfortunately, same license plate. This is an example of Mattel's laziness, just slapping on the same license plate as Sally. Quite disappointing actually, because Sally's the main character. I can kinda understand why some minor characters have the same license plates, but I have no clue. It doesn't make any sense. It really just shows how lazy Mattel is when it comes to the small details. But like I've said many times in my previous videos, it's the small things that really do matter. So that's all for this video on the variations of Sally. I hope you enjoyed the review, Aarondoes World of Cars, and hopefully all of you enjoyed as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I wanted to apologize again for including my little rant at the beginning, but I really did have to go over that. I'm sorry though for kind of putting that on your suggestion video. It really should have been a separate video, but I wanted to make sure it was in this video so I could tell you guys about it as soon as possible. So that's all. I'm not going to continue talking and rambling on and making this video longer. I'll see you guys on Tuesday for another video. See you guys then. You'll be very surprised as to what the video is about.